One August morning nearly 2 years ago, my mother woke me up and put me in a cab. She handed me a jacket and said, "Nalla thanuppaayirikkum." That were among the few words she said. It might be cold there. When I arrived at the Cochin International Airport with her, I was introduced to a man. She told me he was my uncle. He held my hand as I boarded an airplane. It was 2010 and I was 15. My mother wanted to give me a better life, so she sent me thousands of miles away to live with her sister in America. After I arrived in Chicago, Illinois, someone I had never seen before picked me up. On the way home, she told me she's my aunt. After a few weeks, I quickly grew to love my home, family, and culture. I discovered a passion for language, though it was hard to learn the difference between the British English and the American slang. An American is anyone who lives in America. Whether he is an immigrant or a natural born citizen, he is an American. My US history teacher used to say this to us. When I heard these words, I felt an unusual joy. But this joy was not for me, it was for my parents. At a young age, I could not quite make out if I was an American or Asian Indian. My life would always go two ways. When I was at school, I felt like an American. I spoke, dressed, and acted just like my classmates. But at home, it was a different story. We spoke a different language, and my grandma always wore different clothes. At school, I always got along with other students, as far as I can remember. They liked me. I was treated nicely there. Sometimes, I am put in the spotlight when someone asks about my culture and traditions. I still remember my first day of school. Fear started taking over. I was walking into my first school in America. I had traveled a long distance from India in order to join my mother's sister, who had been here for 20 years, hoping America would help my future. My father decided I would be better off going to school here, so I enrolled in the local high school in my new town. I was afraid how I would do. I didn't know anybody in my classes. On the first day, I went to my fifth period class after I had missed the first half of the day. I was already confused because in India, the teachers switch according to the period, while most of the students have the same period. With anxiety on one hand and fear on the other, I reached for the doorknob, opening it slowly. Everyone's eyes were on me as I entered the room. Without paying attention to them, I went straight to the teacher and asked if this was the right class. With a soft voice, she answered, "Yes." I was very confused about when I would have lunch. It was noon, and when the bell rang, I went through the regular process of asking the teacher where my next class is. She said, "It's still the fifth period." "But the bell just rang," I said, changing from a gentle tone to a harsher one. She said, "That is a lunch bell." I apologized. Without another word, I headed for the cafeteria. I came back from lunch, and I sat in my seat when a kid in the class came and asked me, "What's up?" I replied, "The sky." He and a couple of other kids started laughing. I asked them, "Did I say anything funny?" And he said, "Hey, I didn't ask you what is up. I asked you what's up, like, what's going on?" I said, "Oh, nothing special." He said, "There you go." When I got used to all sort of questions, I made myself a frequently asked questions list in my mind, and I started to answer their questions in a different way. Some main ones were, "Does India have TV?" I'll say, "No, we only have cables." "Do you speak Hindu?" "Of course I do. I speak Christianity and Jewish too." "Are you a Hindi?" "Yeah, I'm spoken every day in India." It's no big deal because it does not bother me. If I'm from a different nationality, I'll get all sort of questions asked about my culture. Sometimes I like it when someone asks about my culture. It shows the individuality in me. I do not think there's anything wrong with being different or individual. I am glad that school is not a problem for me because education is important to my family and me. I remember one day when I was looking at my test grades online, I said to my dad, "Dad, I got a 93 on my calc test." I was like the happiest person in the world. All he said was, "Try harder next time, son." I was a little bit confused at first, but I didn't want to argue with him, so I just let it go. I often ask my father many times why he came to America. He always says the same thing: for better education and more opportunities. Whatever he has done till today and will ever do is for my sibling and for me. Because of that, I do not ask him for anything else. This way, I do not feel guilty of reminding him of his homeland. Education is just one area in which America has opened its door. America is full of different kinds of people from different nationalities. I feel as if I am not the only one from the different culture. Along with me, there are millions of other people who live in two worlds. That is a good thing about America. This country gives chances to people to find their spot in the world. I am just one out of a million. In America, people can practice their traditions as individuals, rather than just one nationality practicing the same traditions. Although there are so many differences in my two cultures, I never let myself mix them up. I leave my American culture outside my home and I leave my Indian culture inside. Sometimes I find it hard when I am stuck in the doorway. I remember what my father said once in the dinner table. He said, "Yes, I grew up in India and all my childhood memories are there. If something happens in India, it'll make me upset. But I am also living in America. America has also given me a home. So now I must worry about America more than India as I live here. So just as my father has accepted America, I must accept my American way of life, but I will never forget my Indian customs."